I stood right there so that,
right here?
like right there, so you're still in it, but not.
Do I have to be in it?
Yes.
You know what?
Yeah, you have to be
like
in
that.
it.
Okay.
Oh wait, does anyone want the podium? Nobody asked for the podium.
That's why I stood behind the computer.
It's all good.
I want the podium.
Anyone who wants the podium can get the podium, or we'll help you.
Okay.
I can't lift it though. I can move tables, can I?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fine. We don't need it. Let me see how I do it. Do I just press space?
Yep.
Okay. So, hi, my name is Atiah, and I am discussing arranged marriages today in today's society, but it's definitely a thing of the past. So the purpose of this paper is to inform the audience about arranged marriages and offer a different perspective of love, marriage, and companionship. Okay, so in today's modern world of wives, girlfriends, fiancés, side chicks, and jump balls, the notion of an arranged marriage could be unthinkable. But at some point in our life, we are all going to want someone, a companion to grow old with, someone to start a family with, but some people may not. And with all the trends of online dating, catfishing, and 90-day fiance proves that a lot of people in this world want love also. So I just wanted to give a different type of perspective or, a different way of people looking at it. My parents had an arranged marriage, so I'm a product of it, and it was inspiring to say the least. So, what is an arranged marriage? According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, arranged marriage is a marriage in which a husband or wife are chosen by their parents. Now, there are different types of arranged marriages, and through research, I didn't even know this. So, the traditional arranged marriage is an arranged marriage in which the parents choose a spouse for their son or daughter, and you can, decline the offer, and have your wishes respected. Then they have the introduction-only arranged marriage where they would set up like a meet and greet type of thing. Like, okay, with like say their families that have been living around each other for a while, or they know each other, so they'll set up a meet and greet for the kids to meet in hopes that they'll get a liking for one another and want to make the decision on their own. Then they have a forced marriage, and from what I read, they're saying that this is rare, but in a magazine called Everyday Health, it says that the custom is still practiced in some parts of the world where one or both partners have no say in the spouse, and sometimes it's under the threat of punishment or death. Okay, so in which cultures are arranged marriage practiced the most? We have most of the Eastern culture, this is predominant in. So Africa, China, India, Israel, the Muslim religion, they practice it as well. The Western culture seen some of the arranged marriage during the Elizabethan era. Everybody kind of knows Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, if you kind of remember that story. I think they wanted her to marry somebody different, and she ended up liking somebody from a different family. And we all kind of know the story, what happened with that. So here are pictures of just different types. So this is like a Chinese one. This is an Indian. This is a Muslim one. This is an African one. So this is just showing you some different pictures of arranged marriages. This was one during the Elizabethan area. Okay, so why are arranged marriages predominant in these cultures? In Everyday Health states that the practice of arranging matrimony holds up in many societies because it stabilizes, connects families, preserves social and economic order, and reinforces religious values. I thought this was interesting because in non-Western culture, from what I was reading, it's saying that the morale of Western culture is that everybody is out for oneself and their happiness is based off of their self. But in the Eastern one, primarily they're responsible to their groups who've taken care of them, their family. They're obligated to these people because they've taken care of them. So it's like you kind of got to pay back the deed. I thought this was funny. A common rationale for arranged marriage is that young people are too immature and impulsive to make a wise choice. Because, when you think about it, sometimes your choices of who you might have dated when you were young, or maybe you might have brought them home to your parents and they're like, what the, so that I kind of agree with sometimes, but then it's like, I don't know if I agree all the time with my parents' decisions. So factors that are considered in arranged marriage are age, appearance, caste, family reputation, family plans, education, profession, religion, and wealth. I put this in the bottom is to be chaste is important in Eastern cultures because a lot of people always wonder why, women they can't be around men or they have to be covered and things, and that's basically to prevent temptation and prevent those things from happening. Let's see, and factors considered in marriage. I thought another good tidbit was what was it? Education. It was one of the marriages referenced in here where when they were getting ready to get married, the bride asked the groom to add 15 plus 6, and he got it wrong, and she left him, or she didn't decide to go through with the marriage. She actually married a guest at the wedding. And then there was one, happens often. So they said that parents will cover up flaws of their family so they can get them married. So a gentleman had an epileptic seizure at the wedding, and it didn't happen. Okay, so here are the pros and cons of arranged marriage. So pros would be a way to keep tradition and culture alive, genuine affection that grows with time. A lot of people, they can marry for appearance, but most of the times it's more for your background, your family, your wealth, your status, and not necessarily your appearance. By entering a contract, a marriage is like a contract with a person. It offers a sense of security rather than sometimes when people date off of, lust or looks. Once that passed, sometimes it's like, well, what else do we have left? The cons I do need to go over are that domestic violence is often occurs but is not reported because of fear of shaming the family or themselves. It inhibits the freedom of choice, robs the opportunity to see deal breakers before the marriage, and hard to hold on to values in a Western society. Getting to know a stranger, and pressure of not disappointing the family. Okay, so I got this quote from a psychology professor at Stanford University. So what he basically says about arranged marriages and non-arranged marriages is that people we end up married to or partner up with end up being similar to us in race, religion, class, background, and age, which means that they might not be all that different from the person that your mother would have picked for you in the beginning anyway. And in conclusion, there are many reasons for a person to consider marriage. It is important to look at different options that may be suitable for you, in addition to weighing out the pros and cons of each decision. Because at the end of the day, people want love, security, and companionship that will last. Thank you.
Okay, what was the time?
7:29.
Right.